Okay, so now we've got the image here. What we need to do is put the picture in there. So what we need to do is we need to edit the JavaScript so that when we know the key is the cover, so instead of putting that there, we put the code for an image. So if we go to, let's go to here, W3 schools, HTML. Okay, and if we go to images here, so the code for an image is this. That's the code for an image. So we need to make something like that instead of putting in the HTML just the key. So we don't want just the data. We want to use that data to put in a different one. So what we need to ask ourselves here, so we need to ask a question. So we need to say if the key is equal to cover, okay, because that's where the code is. We don't want it to put this in. Okay, so that's going to be our else. And there. So that's our else. We're going to put that in, but we wanted to set a different thing into here. So we want to make an image. I'm going to say let my image equal. Okay, so now I need to make the code for the image. So if I just put here the code for the image, okay, and then that's my code for the image. So it will be a dollar, okay, and it'll be img because that's the tag name. Okay, and then I've got something called an src, a source. I'll tab that in. Now this is an attribute. It's not a or a property. So I'm going to put in here src, and then I need to put the actual image name. Okay, so in my images folder here, there, I've got a covers folder, and these are all the big images. Okay, I've just made an image. I've used some Python to just take an image and then copy it 300 times. It's just the same image. And then I've also used some Python, which I'll show you in a bit, which will change the size of the image to a smaller image, to a thumbnail, because I don't want to, I'm only going to have a bit of space here. I'm only going to have a bit of space here to put my image in. I don't want to put a massive image in. So I'll put some other stuff in it up about how to do that, but that's what we're doing. So the source of these should be in, remember where we are, we're in books.html. So books.html is in here in pages. So I need to go up to images and then into cover. So I've got to say here, my source is going to be images. To go here, dot slash images slash covers / thumbs. That's what I've called them. Here I'll put it into a folder called thumbs, and then the image name. Okay, so that's what I stick together. So I should be just saying thumbs / and then the image name. Okay, so then the image name will be this. Okay, so if the key is the cover, that's what I want the image name. Now this is an alt. Okay, so I'm going to put that in as well. So it's a good practice, best practice, according to to the World Wide Web Consortium, to always put an alt for an image. So if it doesn't appear, then we can put that in. So I'm going to put the title. So image 4, and then I'm going to say plus, and then I want the data. I want the data for that's actually going to be, the key is going to be title. Okay, so it's going to put that in there as the alternative. So if the image doesn't show, it comes up with an alternative. So I'll leave that in there for the minute. So once that's okay, so that should make my image. And now I populate my cell. So say there, and I'm going to say td.html is not that, but it is my image. Okay, so put the image into the cell. It's really good practice to put your comments in, please. Okay, this you get marks for this in the exam, in the so on, in the NEA, right? So let's put that in there. Let's save that. Let's see if that works. Okay, so now, if some of the image haven't shown up because it might not be there, I'll need to look for them. But there you go. It's put in the image. Now all my images are exactly the same. And I'm just uploading these images. So some of these images may not have come in. So what image does he think that is? He thinks that one's image 275. So in my thumbs, is image 275 got there? No, I can't see it there. So if I just, can I refresh the folder? It should be there now. Yeah, 275 is there now. So if I go back, oh, because I haven't copied them all over. Yeah, that's all right. I can copy them all over. So I will copy those over. Let me just do that. Okay, so I've copied them all over and made sure they're all there. There we go. So they're all coming up. Now, if I had different images there, the different images would come up. So basically, what's happening? It's made in the cell. It's put that, and it's got an alt there. So it should say alt for that. So if the image doesn't show for some reason, it will give the alternative for that. There we go. So we've got the images in there now. So that looks okay. Okay. So the thing I might want to do that on there is to put a filter in. We'll do that in one of the other ones. But the next thing I want to do is to put, instead of putting this into a table, is make some cards for each of these books rather than images. So in Bootstrap, okay, in Bootstrap 4, which is what we're in, we can make cards. Here we go, cards. So basically, I'm going to put an image in, title, and so on, and I'll maybe have it add to basket or something like that on it. But that's what I want to be able to do. Okay, so that's what's coming next. So you could have it as a table, it's fine. Okay, and we need to add another one of the things we might want to do is add another one, a button into there, so that it adds the button. So we could add a button in for add to basket. That would work. How much time we got left? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so buttons. I'm going to grab one of these buttons, not danger. Let's add a dark one. Which one's a dark one? Button link dark. Right, so I want to add a button in. So here's my row. So before I append my row to there, let's add a button. Okay, so this is what I want to add, and we're pretty much doing the same thing as we did before. Let my button equals, and then dollar, button slash brackets, and that's got a class on it, so it's dot add class. Button will have class button btn, and dot add class will have btn dark, text on it. So HTML, what goes inside it, you can see there. And let's put in there, add to basket. Okay, so we will also need a new cell for that. Okay, so I think we'll have to say that. Button cell, TD, and that's TD, and then we can say .html, and put my button in there. Split right would help. Okay, and my button into there, and then we'll add that TD to the row, table row, dot append button TD. So we'll also have to add something up here to add another row. So let's call it choose. I'll make 7 columns, and that will do that. So okay, there we go. Right. So we've got a button here, add to basket, so I can do that. At the moment, it doesn't do anything, but we can edit that code and make it do something. Okay. So the next thing is to, instead of creating table, and then we're doing that, we can make cards.